The following is a slightly historical series on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era of China's history. Because this is based off of a video game, and myself playing it, there will be a lot of incorrect information that we will correct using the help of Wikipedia. For those of you who want to learn more about Dynasty Warriors, or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era, I suggest reading the book. Please enjoy the following presentation. Quite an interesting character, one that may or may not have existed in real life, Diao Chan. During the previous bonus episode, I mentioned that Diao Chan was fictitious completely, but this young songstress, who is the adopted daughter of Guan Yu, might have actually referred to a real person. She is extremely feminine and refined. She detests conflict. So, Diao Chan was one of the four beauties of ancient China. Although based on a minor historical personage, she is mostly a fictitious character. She is best known for her role in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which romanticizes the events of the Eastern Han, yada yada blah blah blah. Chinese historical records indicate that Lu Bu had a secret affair with one of Dong Zhuo's geji, and he constantly feared that Dong Zhuo would find out, which is why he would turn on Dong Zhuo and betray him. Which we do know that is part of the reason, because it was actually a couple of other dudes convincing Lu Bu to betray Dong Zhuo. However, the geji's name was not recorded. Luo Guanzhong described Diao Chan as a geji who was very good at dancing in Romance of the Three Kingdoms. The name Diao Chan first appeared in the Sangguoshi Pinghua as the courtesy name of Lu Bu's wife. A later Zaju Duoji, a now lost, explained the name, which literally means sable cicada, as derived from the sable tails and jade decorations in the shape of cicadas which adorned the hats of high-ranking officials in the Eastern Han. In earlier stories, Diao Chan was described as Lu Bu's wife, who had been accidentally separated from Lu Bu during the political disorder and was unaware of the conspiracy against Dong Zhuo, which, as we know in the previous bonus episode with Lu Bu, Diao Chan was also described as, one of the geji who was not Lu Bu's wife, and Lu Bu's wife didn't have a name. So maybe there's just a little bit of maybe Diao Chan was Lu Bu's wife in, this representation, this game, this story, or maybe it was just a mix-up way back when and nobody knows what's true anymore. But one thing is for certain, that Diao Chan, slightly confusing figure. Later stories removed this background and had her more actively participating in the scheme. Narrations about Diao Chan's ultimate fate appeared in the Yuan Dynasty Zaju. The titles of those lost works suggest Diao Chan was viewed as a femme fatale, was decapitated by Guan Yu after Lu Bu's death, which was inherited by some of later Ming or Qing operas featuring Diao Chan. So, does Diao Chan exist? Was Diao Chan actually Lu Bu's wife, but mixed up? Was Diao Chan a schemer, or was she just a concubine? We don't really know. But in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Diao Chan assists the official Wang Yun in a plot to persuade Lu Bu to kill his foster father, Dong Zhuo. Wang Yun presents her to Dong Zhuo as a concubine, but also betroths her to Lu Bu at the same time. Diao Chan uses her beauty to turn Dong Zhuo and Lu Bu against each other by inciting jealousy between them. While Dong Zhuo is out one day, Lu Bu sneaks into his bedroom in the hope of seeing Diao Chan. Diao Chan pretends to be very upset and attempts suicide by throwing herself into the pond, saying that she is ashamed to see Lu Bu because she had been violated by Dong Zhuo. Lu Bu is heartbroken and promises that he will not let her suffer further at the hands of Dong Zhuo. Just then, Dong Zhuo returns and sees them embracing each other. As Lu Bu flees, Dong Zhuo chases him and hurls a spear at him, but misses, which is kind of in line with what we know from Lu Bu's side of the story, where whenever Dong Zhuo would get super pissed off, he would throw weapons at Lu Bu. So, some truths are mixed in with some of the fairy tale and turns it into a much more interesting story. On the way, Dong Zhuo meets his advisor Li Ru, who suggests to let Lu Bu have Diao Chan so as to win Lu Bu's trust. Dong Zhuo goes back to Diao Chan later and accuses her of betraying his love, saying that he intends to present her to Lu Bu. Diao Chan replies indignantly that Lu Bu embraced her against her will and attempts suicide to prove her love to Dong Zhuo. Dong Zhuo is moved and dismisses the idea of relinquishing her. So, I don't know how this game is going to represent Diao Chan. Is she going to be that schemer? Is she just going to be, Lu Bu's side piece? Let's jump in and see.
I am known as Diao Chan. My adopted father, Wang Yun, is worried about Lord Dong Zhuo controlling the imperial court, so I have come to serve him as part of a plan. Father's plan. He is hoping to drive a wedge between Lord Dong Zhuo and his adopted son, Master Lu Bu, and get them to fight each other. This may be a slightly immoral path to take, but I must repay the kindness that Father has shown me over the years. I must go in spite of the darkness ahead.
So here, we're being told straight up, she's the schemer.
Now a bunch of guys have signed a pact or something against Dong Zhuo. They're heading for Luoyang. I gotta ride out to Sishui Gate and stop them. Of them all, Sun Jian's probably the toughest. Well, they're all nothing compared to me. But he's making the most noise, I guess. I'll find him and shut him up. As long as I'm here, it doesn't matter how many of them team up against us. I'll just keep cutting them down until every last one is gone.
And from what we know from the Lu Bu episode, Sun Jian actually defeats Lu Bu twice. It can also be safely assumed that Diao Chan, being a woman, probably never saw the field of battle, so any battle she is a part of is fiction, but for the sake of the game.
Have you learned your lesson yet? As long as Hua Xiong controls Sishui Gate, you shall not pass. It is laughable to think that I would let such filth even approach Lord Dong Zhuo. But no matter how weak they are, I cannot hold them off forever. They will surely try to press the attack before long. I must find a way to keep them at bay.
Eager off of their victory at Sishui Gate, the allied army against Dong Zhuo advanced to Hulao Gate. Angered, Lord Dong Zhuo himself has marched out to battle. If Dong Zhuo is defeated in this battle, then my role shall be complete. But that would remove Master Lu Bu's path of escape, and he would surely be killed by the enemy. But what have I done? This was all supposed to be part of Father's plan. But now I am scared to lose Master Lu Bu.
Don't really have anything to add there.
Diao Chan. So you caught Dong Zhuo's eye in the fight at Sishui Gate. Now he's got to have you next to him even in battle. Damn him. Hulao Gate is surrounded. Zhang Liao is struggling. The gate won't last much longer now. Looks like it's up to me to save Dong Zhuo's hide again. Now you're together with Dong Zhuo in the main camp. I don't like it, but at least you'll be safe there. Don't worry, Diao Chan. We'll both get out of this battle alive. I promise.
I do appreciate how Lu Bu is being so soft with Diao Chan. I think that's cute.
Diao Chan, you're not with Dong Zhuo?
There is only one person I wish to stand by. And it is you, not Lord Dong Zhuo.
Diao Chan, I believe you and your words. Come! Not even the god of war can defeat me!
The Allied forces are nothing but common fodder. If they get knocked around a bit, they give up and go home. They might as well not have even bothered. Now we must turn our attention inwards. Lately there has been an air of unrest around me. We must bring an end to the source of this malcontent before it can spread.
Following the Battle of Hu Lao Gate, I told everything to Master Lu Bu, and together we defeated Lord Dong Zhuo. At last, Father's plan has been realized. I had tricked Master Lu Bu, but he forgave me and told me that together we could set out on our own path to find a life amongst the chaos. Perhaps Master Lu Bu is not the traitorous villain everybody makes him out to be, but rather, he is just too pure for his own good. In my eyes, I can see him in no other way.
Sure.
Diao Chan, it must have been difficult for you to admit the truth. I don't know why you first came to me, but I don't care either. As long as I have you by my side, that's all that matters. With no home of our own, we're stuck serving Yuan Shao. Now he's gonna start a campaign against Gongsun Zan, and he wants us to join in the battle. Yuan Shao's a fool, and I don't like him. But I've been itching for a fight lately. I'll tear this Gongsun Zan guy limb from limb.
So we're gonna do this battle again, which, if we remember from Lu Bu's episode, was a real battle that did happen. Lu Bu was under Yuan Shao. Whether or not Diao Chan was possibly with him at this point seems likely, because after, the initial betrayal of Dong Zhuo, the next time Diao Chan is mentioned is at Jiapi, which is most likely going to be the next battle, and that is the last time she is mentioned. So, safe to assume that she was with Lu Bu.
I cannot bear to defend such a vile man!
My lord, I know that you shall rise to greater heights than even the nobility could dream of. I believe in you, and I know that we can get through this as long as we stay together.
Gongsun Zan and the traitor Zhang Yan have been eliminated. Land of Huabei now belongs to the Yuan family. Soon the influence of the Yuan family shall spread across the land. The strength of our nation is without equal, and our troops are filled with confidence. Now if only the Han can recapture its former glory.
Together, Master Lu Bu and I wandered about and eventually stole Shapi Castle from Liu Bei. While it may not be just, Master Lu Bu did manage to get his own castle. Despite the fact that we defeated the villain Dong Zhuo, Master Lu Bu and I are being hunted down. Will we never be able to live a life of peace and quiet? But I refuse to lament over this. In fact, the only thing that I wish for is a life together with Master Lu Bu.
We do know that that is what happens. They steal the castle from Liu Bei.
Teaming up with Cao Cao to take back the castle. Well, fine. That just means that Cao Cao will be the next to die by my blade.
Which is funny, because during this time, after Lu Bu stole the castle from Liu Bei, he allied with Cao Cao and Cao Cao in a couple of battles. Then Liu Bei went to Cao Cao, said, help me get my castle back, and Cao Cao was like, alright, fine. Then they take the castle, and then Cao Cao keeps it for himself, because Liu Bei is a little bitch.
It looks like those fools have some scheme going, using the river. Ridiculous. They're as dumb as they are weak. I'll destroy them all. Diao Chan, I never wanted to drag you out into battle like this. But if we are to have a future together, then we must fight together now.
Their army. It's filled with officers of talent and valor. Lu Bu, do you think that we could really defeat them?
Doesn't matter. Their numbers make no difference. By opposing me, they are marching to their own slaughter! I have defeated the villain Cao Cao and brushed aside his cowardly water attack. Neither troops No pathetic plots can overcome my might. Dong Zhuo, Cao Cao. All that have stood against me have perished. None can oppose my might. Are there any left willing to face me? Anyone at all?
It was during the final days of the year 200 AD when the Han Dynasty saw its end. Its demise ushered in a new era of chaos, brought on by several regional lords vying to rule China. There were those who sought absolute power, as well as those who fought for justice, and some simply fought for the sake of their beliefs. Many would rise and fall in their attempts to dominate the land. Diao Chan, whose origin is unknown, was the adopted daughter of Han Minister Guan Yu. Trained in the arts of music and dance, she was renowned as a woman of extraordinary skill and beauty. Following the Yellow Turban Rebellion, Dong Zhuo's reign of terror would soon threaten the land. With Lu Bu at his side, Dong Zhuo was untouchable. Guan Yu devised a plot to overthrow Dong Zhuo and enlisted the aid of Diao Chan. Out of loyalty to Wang Yun, Diao Chan approached Dong Zhuo and Lu Bu. She successfully played them against each other and convinced Lu Bu to slay Dong Zhuo. Diao Chan had fulfilled her role by successfully executing Wang Yun's strategy. However, she refused to leave Lu Bu's side. Driven by her love for him, she continued to fight. Although the two would come to take Shapi Castle, Lu Bu would be accused as a tyrant by a group led by Cao Cao. When Lu Bu was attacked, he faced them and welcomed the battle. Although victorious, Lu Bu's strength gave out in the end, and he perished.
It's a weird way to finish this.
The land was swept by chaos once again. However, this was not a good enough reason for Diao Chan to keep fighting, as her will to fight was powered entirely by her love for Lu Bu. These tales, long forgotten in the flows of time, are about the legends of which no one can recall.
It's funny how they do kill Lu Bu at the end here, but let's see the final. Oh, we can play as Dong Zhuo, wow.
I knew you could do it, Lord Lu Bu. Rest now, my beloved.
But yeah, that's the way Diao Chan's story will end. Like I mentioned, Diao Chan only has a cameo in the Battle of Jiapi and is never mentioned again. In folk tales, that's what I mentioned earlier, where Cao Cao handed over Diao Chan to Guan Yu in the hope of winning Guan Yu's loyalty. Guan Yu suspected that he's being tricked when he recalls how Diao Chan had betrayed Lu Bu and Dong Zhuo and kills her. In a different folktale, Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei all want to marry her, so Guan Yu says, "Problem solved," and decapitates her. So, hard to know if she was even real. Hard to know if she was actually Lu Bu's wife and this was her actual story. Hard to know what, you know, is really about her, because she is a mostly fictional character that may have been based on some real people, and because this is the romance of the Three Kingdoms, that is, you know, how it's prettied up, that's how it's played up, that's how, you know, things go when you're trying to, you know, write something to make it sound a lot prettier, you know? So, Diao Chan, mysterious female figure in the games, always by Lu Bu's side, and in some of the games, if you kill Diao Chan before you defeat Lu Bu, then he goes like super ultra rage mode, and it's pretty cool, because then he's even harder to kill. But yeah, that is the story of Diao Chan. The next one is going to be tomorrow. That should be Zhang Liao, and that one should be a good one.